Imagine a world without billionaires, a world without poverty. This is the utopian vision at the heart of communism. It's a radical idea: abolish private property and create a classless society. In this system, the state, representing the people, owns and controls all resources. The goal? To distribute wealth equally and eliminate exploitation. This vision has captivated revolutionaries and intellectuals for centuries. It promises a world free from the inequalities of capitalism. But the reality of communist states has often fallen short of this ideal. The allure of communism lies in its promise of social justice. It seeks to create a society where everyone has equal access to basic necessities. However, the path from theory to practice has proven to be fraught with challenges. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, the intellectual fathers of communism, provided the theoretical framework for this radical ideology. They argued that history is a story of class struggle. In their view, capitalism, with its private ownership of production, inherently creates conflict between the bourgeoisie, the owners, and the proletariat, the workers. Marx and Engels believed that capitalism would inevitably collapse under its own contradictions. This collapse would pave the way for a socialist revolution, leading to a dictatorship of the proletariat. This transitional state would eventually wither away, giving rise to a classless communist society. Their ideas resonated with many who felt oppressed by the injustices of 19th-century industrial capitalism. Their writings inspired revolutionary movements around the world, from Russia to China to Cuba. The Soviet Union, born out of the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution, became the first large-scale attempt to put Marxist theory into practice. Under Vladimir Lenin's leadership, private property was abolished and the state took control of land, industry, and resources. The Soviet Union made significant strides in industrialization and social welfare. It boasted universal healthcare, education, and employment. However, this progress came at a high cost. The Soviet system, characterized by centralized planning and a lack of individual economic freedom, stifled innovation and efficiency. The absence of competition led to stagnation and shortages. Moreover, the Soviet state became increasingly authoritarian, suppressing dissent and violating human rights in the name of the collective good. Section 4. China's path from Mao to market socialism. China's communist revolution, led by Mao Zedong, took a different trajectory. After decades of turmoil, including the disastrous Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution, China embarked on a path of economic reform under Deng Xiaoping in the late 1970s. While maintaining the Communist Party's political control, China embraced market mechanisms and foreign investment. This hybrid system, often called market socialism or state capitalism, has led to unprecedented economic growth, lifting millions out of poverty. However, China's economic success has come at the expense of political freedom and environmental sustainability. The Chinese government continues to restrict individual liberties and grapple with the social and environmental consequences of rapid industrialization. Section 5. The human cost, social welfare and individual freedom. The communist experiment has presented a complex trade-off between social welfare and individual freedom. On the one hand, communist states have often made significant strides in providing basic necessities like healthcare, education, and housing. The Soviet Union, for example, made great strides in expanding literacy and providing universal healthcare. Similarly, Cuba, despite its economic limitations, has achieved impressive results in healthcare and education. However, this emphasis on social welfare has often come at the cost of individual liberty. Communist states have often suppressed dissent, limited freedom of speech and assembly, and controlled the flow of information. Section 6. The limits of planning inefficiency and lack of innovation. One of the major criticisms leveled against state-controlled economies is their inherent inefficiency. Centralized planning, while theoretically appealing, often struggles to allocate resources effectively and respond to the dynamic needs of a complex economy. The absence of market forces like competition and profit motive can lead to stagnation and a lack of innovation. Without the incentive to compete and innovate, state-owned enterprises often become bureaucratic and unresponsive to consumer demands. This lack of dynamism ultimately hinders economic growth and limits the ability of communist states to compete in the global marketplace. The fall of the Soviet Union, in part due to its inability to keep pace with the technological advancements of the West, serves as a cautionary tale. Section 7, a complex legacy balancing collective good and individual rights. The communist experiment, with its focus on state ownership, presents a complex legacy. While its utopian vision of a classless society remains unrealized, it has sparked important conversations about social justice, economic equality, and the role of the state. The challenge for any society, regardless of its ideological leanings, lies in finding the right balance between collective good and individual rights. How can we create a world where everyone has access to basic necessities without sacrificing the freedoms that make life worth living? The communist experiment, while flawed in its execution, serves as a reminder that the pursuit of a just and equitable society requires constant reflection, adaptation, and a willingness to learn from both our successes and our failures.